Good morning or afternoon, depending on which it is. For our warm up in English today, we are going to start by doing sentence labels. Read sentence number 1 to yourself as I read it out loud. The reputable carpenter built beautiful homes in our neighborhood. First, we're going to ask who or what is the sentence about? It's about a carpenter. Who built them? The carpenter did. So we're going to label carpenter subject noun, SN. Next, we ask ourselves, what did the carpenter do? The carpenter built, so we will label built as our verb. Next, I'm going to go back and look for a preposition. I can't help but see it jump out at me. Does anyone see it? If you found in as a preposition, you're correct. We will mark that with a P for preposition. And remember, when we have a preposition, we're also going to have an object of the preposition. In what? In neighborhood, OP, object of the preposition. That would indicate you're also at the end of the prepositional phrase. Within the prepositional phrase, in our neighborhood, we have a possessive pronoun adjective telling you whose neighborhood. Possessive is telling you who owns it. Okay. Now let's go back. And this is what we did last week. Built, this is our key word, built. Built what? Built homes. When we ask ourselves built what, we're going to label that a DO for direct object. Then we can ask what kind of homes? What kind, which one, how many? If you said that's an adjective, you are correct. Next, we have the word carpenter, reputable carpenter. What kind of carpenter? A reputable carpenter. What kind, which one, how many? Another adjective. And we have as an article. I am going to separate, oops, what did I forget to do with this? If we have a direct object, we have a verb transitive. We can mark it a VT, verb transitive. If you can remember that for next year, Mrs. Roberts would be really thrilled. I'm proud of you. So would I. Next, we're going to separate our complete subject from our complete predicate by drawing a line in front of your verb. We're not going to underline today because I think that gets a little bit messy on here, but what is your complete subject? If you said the reputable carpenter, you're correct. That makes our complete predicate, built beautiful homes in our neighborhood, as the complete predicate. The simple subject, who is it about? Carpenters. What did they do? Built. Simple subject is carpenter. Built is your predicate. All right, let's look at sentence number 2. Those menacing termites built tunnels in the walls of the house. Who or what is the sentence about? Is it about those, menacing, or termites? It's about termites. Termites built the tunnels. And then you ask yourself, what did the termites do? The termites built. Label that V for verb. Next, I noticed not one but 2 prepositions within this sentence. Can you find them? If you said in, you're correct. Label that. In what? In the walls. Walls is your OP. Okay. So remember, your prepositional phrase is in front of, begins with your preposition and ends with your object of the preposition. We have another preposition right here, of. Of what? Of the house, OP. Object of the preposition. Notice that's another prepositional phrase. Once we have those prepositional phrases, you can kind of ignore those. So now we're just really focused on those menacing termites built tunnels. We're going to ask ourselves, built what? Built tunnels, direct object. Next, we can look at termites because we have these words here. What kind of termites? menacing, adjective. Which termites? Those. What kind? Which one? How many? Adjective. Which termites? Now, since we have a direct object, we want to remember to do the labeling for our verb. It's not just a plain old verb, it is now a verb transitive. Next, we're going to separate our complete subject from our complete predicate by drawing a line in between or in front of our verb transitive. So our complete subject is those menacing termites. The complete predicate is built tunnels in the walls of the house. The simple subject would be termites. The simple predicate, built. All right. Next, we're going to do an edit exercise. All right, let's take a look at the paragraph that we have here. You could either print out the one that you have, or you can write it on a piece of loose leaf paper, making the corrections. Either one is fine with me. Let's read it first before we go on. Have you ever read a book that you couldn't put down? Two popular children's books are Charlotte's Web and Dear Mr. Henshaw. They're not new books, but they're both bestsellers. Kids haven't stopped reading them. With these books, maybe you'll laugh or maybe you'll cry. You'll feel and think about what you've read. That's one reason why some books don't get dusty. All right, well, we can obviously have the things that I can't get rid of with the spell check, and clearly those are some errors. Let's take a look at the first sentence though. Have you ever read a book that you couldn't put down? Do you see any errors there? I don't. I think that looks okay. How about the next sentence? Two popular children's books are Charlotte's Web and Dear Mr. Henshaw. What's wrong with children's? Yes, you need to put an apostrophe there because it's telling whose books, the children's books. It's going to be between the N and the S right here. Our Charlotte's Web. What's wrong with, there's another mistake with Charlotte's. Does anyone see it? That's telling whose web, so that's also going to get an apostrophe between the E and the S. And Dear Mr. Henshaw. Other than that, that sentence looks good. Next sentence, they're not new books, but they're both bestsellers. What's wrong with this there? That's right, it's a contraction. They are, so it's going to go between the Y and the R. Put your apostrophe right there. And we have another one here that gets an apostrophe between the Y and the R. Right there. All right, next sentence. Kids haven't stopped reading them. Is there anything wrong there? Looks good. With these books, maybe you'll laugh or maybe you'll cry. There are two contractions here. The same ones repeated twice between the U and the L, and again between the U and the L. You'll feel and think about what you've read. What's wrong with these contractions? Missing the apostrophe. Oh my, whoever did this had a hard time, didn't they? Put it between the U and the V. You will, you'll, you have, you've. That's one reason why some books don't get dusty. And an apostrophe here. Okay. Hopefully you did well on that and you understand what to do. If not, send me a question underneath the video in the comment section and I'll answer it. Other than this, you're ready for the next step. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.